when you did win your ninth, I should have known that. In our talk about what? Oh, shoot. That's been going for a while. It's like a city ordinance, isn't it? Man, that's bugging me. Thanks, Marcus. Marcus, you got to start giving me a chance to answer questions, though. There we go. Cut Bank, Montana. Everybody, look for new names tonight. For new people. Arkansas, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut. Remember that? Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana. Kuwait. Look at that. Vegas. I know I'm going to get to that about Vegas. Things are looking up in the world a little bit. Miles City. All the way from Miles City where they crawl up stoplights. Costa Rica again, Missouri, Havre. Ooh, all those exotic places than Havre and Miles City. I like that. Ortley, South Dakota. Joey. Tennessee. Mardell's in Havre. Rob McDonough's at Rogers Pass. You know, between Bowman's and Rogers, up that way. Yeah, how about that? They're from. What time is it? What time is it in North Korea? Circle back. Yeah. Wait, is it North Korea? They're monitoring everything we say. Oh my gosh. That's almost scary. Hello from mostly maskless Maryland. That's it. Browning, Montana. Good to see you. Lori Flint, long time not able to watch. Jimmy Hennecue. Washington. Look at them all. The South Dakota Cougar. Central New York. Dustin Jenkins. No, nobody's late. There's Chris. Chris Elise, good to see you. I know you haven't been here in a while, so good to see you back on again. Here in Bozeman with the person I'm related to by marriage. That's funny. Oh, your wife, maybe. I see that. Yeah, you got to watch Cougars and Snow Leopards. You got to watch them. Welcome, everybody. We'll let a few more get on here. Marcy, good to see you. Hope all is going well and better. So that is good to see you on here. We hope to give you, give everybody a little bit something to smile about or something to think about or maybe stuff that'll piss you off. I don't know. That happens too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, I'm pretty sure everybody will be on my side for sure. Yeah. What's going on in California? Were you asking me, Dustin? Or my brother Will was at the Redding Rodeo last weekend in Redding, California, in Northern California. Sold out. Yeah. It was, they said heck with it up in Northern California. That's good. That's such beautiful country up there. Man, it's nice. So, I mean, it's still in California, but it's nice. Yeah. Wisconsin. Hey, welcome everybody. Everybody that's out there. Another Tuesday night. Glad you're tuning in. Got the boys in studio. Why does Dave leave? Like tonight, then he goes. He can't handle the pressure. Tonight, compliments of Mama Tony. Enchiladas tonight with some chips and salsa. I mean, talk to me. It was amazing. David was here. We got Logan and Bo, the Flintettes. We got to come up with a Flint and his, not Flintette, because that's Danettes or Dan Patrick's guys. Flint and the Sparks, the Sparkies, no. Well, I used to get called Sparky in college because Flint. Yeah. We got to think of, okay, so we're floating out names. We're floating out names for Logan and Bo that as a group, not the Flintettes, but something else. And before we go, somebody just asked drink of choice tonight. We're going with the Sam's Purified Drinking Water. Might have got filled from a tap somewhere. I don't know. But I don't know if you've looked at the old clock on the wall and the calendar and your Shoto Lions Club birthday calendar. But it's Tuesday, which means it's, according to Flint, live. The Stones, Flint and the Stones from Casey. The Stooges, Flint, the Stones. I don't know. The Stoned, Flint and the Stone. I don't know. The Fire Starters, too long. Flint, no, not Flint and the Clowns, Jimmy. No, I think just Bo and Logan. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Stay hydrated. College Hangout, Sparky's Group, Flint and the Gangster. No. The Flint Locks. No. I opened a real bad can of worms here. Welcome to Tuesday. I'm gonna cover up the comments for a minute so I don't look at squirrels. Welcome to Tuesday night. Great weekend. Glad everybody came. Glad everybody's here tonight. It looks like a lot of the usual suspects and hopefully some new faces and new names out there. David back in the Godfather, back in what used to be known as his office, and now the set of According to Flint. So David's back here. But Billings, Montana this past weekend, and a few things to talk about. Pretty exciting weekend. Here is, that's right, it's another Logan graphic. Here is my weekend recap. Great job, Logan. Anyway, congratulations. This is getting redundant. Congratulations to, how do you say his name? Jose Vitor Leme. Yeah, that's him. That's the guy. Like he used to, never has figured out. He's a new guy. Jose Vitor Leme is a new guy. And second place, another new guy, Kaiki Pacheco. I hope I said those names right. We've had lots of practice. Really, I always say winning a world title in the PBR is basically a war of attrition. You can have all the talent in the world and guys can be hot, but the key is to stay healthy. That turned out to be the case just for 3 days in Billings. And I'm not making light of this saying, but we killed some guys off. Not literally, but what we had here was 3 rounds, 3 complete go rounds and a short round and a 15-15 bucking battle bonus round on Saturday night. So there were guys that rode, like Jose Vitor Leme, rode 5 bulls in 3 days. So some people are saying, whatever. It's not, you're talking about, think back 25 years ago. You're talking about bulls stronger, or even now, stronger than the bulls at the NFR, riding 5 of them in 3 days. I mean, that is a lot. It's a lot. Full disclosure here, get in trouble for saying this. The 3 rounds with the 15-15, it was covered a couple years ago. Guys don't like it. They don't like it. Was Cooper Davis legit injured, doctored out? Maybe, but funny, he also moved this past weekend, like moved houses. It just happened. Well, as long as I'm hurt, let's just move. But the guys don't like it. It's a lot of bulls. And let me tell you about the pen of bulls in Billings, Montana. Oh my gosh. They're so ranked. And the bulls right now are so much better. Interestingly, I watched, and Dave will appreciate this. It was the year 1982 when Charlie Sampson won the world title. And it showed his round 10 bull with his light blue silk shirt. Have you seen that video? And he needs to ride this bull to be the world's champion here in Oklahoma City. And Charlie Sampson rides his bull in the 10th round, throws his hat. Nowadays, re-ride all day. All day it's a re-ride. So that's the difference with, I see old timers say, real cowboys don't wear helmets and all these vests. Yeah, well, real cowboys back then didn't get on what these guys were doing, and maybe they're just smarter and riding for lots and lots of money. So Jose Vitor Leme, Cody Teal, man. Cody Teal, when he gets rolling, look out. And possibly the nicest human in the world. He's so great. He's battling with Jose Vitor Leme as a nice human as well. That if you want to be a fan of someone, be a fan of Jose. And I'll get to something. I got an Instagram battle today. I couldn't help it. I'll talk about it in a little bit on my I'll Say This segment. What's that? No, it was an incident with a fan. I couldn't let it go. I mean, hard to believe about me, but if somebody says something that's not factual, sometimes I got to chime in. And sometimes, What's that? What about who? Oh, Chase Doherty. Oh, good point. So here's what happened. So Chase Doherty gets put on the clock in the shoot. Did I think he should have at that point get put on the clock? And I'm good friends with the judge and judge who did it and judge, nothing personal. I do not. I thought the bull, as much dinking around in the chutes as we've seen, I thought it was a little quick, but at the moment, the judge thought he should have been put on the clock. But the bull was still moving. Well, what happened, he acted up again. Chase ended up just grabbing his rope and getting off the chute, just walking away. And a lot of people thought he was probably mad. But what happened was, here's what I think. I didn't talk to him. That bull, when he acted up after it, no matter what happens, once you're on the clock, they cannot reset the clock. I saw somebody chime in social media. Well, I've seen them when the bull acts up, they reset the clock. Why didn't they do it? Nope. The rule, once you're on the clock, it's done. So that bull acted up. Here's what I think happened. I think the rope, I didn't think he had his rope. And he looked at the clock. There was no way he could take his hand out, re-pull the rope, and take a wrap. And he knew he couldn't nod because he didn't have the rope, risk of injury, so he just grabbed his rope and walked away. And I was heartbroken for him. He's a good kid. Well, big things ahead of him, but that was it's a bad look for everybody. You can't win there, so that was a shame. But one thing that wasn't a shame over the weekend, I know I brag a lot, like about my girls, but it's my show. I think my name, it used to be on the sign right there. It's my show, so I can brag. My girls Saturday night sang the national anthem. Look how good they were. Oh, there you go. Paige on the right. Look at Paige's. Look at the sprinter legs on Paige. Don't mess with Paige ever. And Shelby on the left. 2 parts. That's the home of the free land of the brave. Boom, the smoke goes off. And so my girls sang the anthem. Proud of them. They were there all night. It's always more fun when I have people I know in the crowd. They brought about 6 of their MSU Bobcat College Rodeo teammates. And really fun to have them in the crowd. My girls don't actually see me work very much anymore because they're in college and I'm flying around the country. And I roped a bull from the shark cage, and they were just like, Paige, how'd you do that, Dad? Like, holy crap. So it's sorry, I uncovered my comments. I shouldn't have done it. Anyway, it's just great to have the girls there. But we did. We had fun in Billings, and my man Logan was there all weekend. filming some things. So if you didn't have a chance to watch any of Billings and you weren't in Billings, here's a quick little spot, little weekend recap from my perspective and Logan's perspective of the Billings PBR. That last look, where I go, that was Saturday night. Was that towards the end of the show, kind of, or middle? And I was like, I've had enough. I'm good. I'm done. And then Sunday we were down to like 22 guys on Sunday. On Saturday night and Sunday were live TV. So I was filling 5-6 minutes of commercials at a time. And I'm 108 years old. So I don't know if you know that. Okay, look at me. Look how good I'm getting. Guys, bosses, I cover up the comments so I can actually talk about something. So let's see. I know we're about a 25-second delay. Who's going to Cheyenne? Marcus or Casper? Both my girls, actually, with some things that just came up recently, both of my girls competing at the College National Finals Rodeo. And this just in 3 weeks, the week before the College National Finals, my guests on the According to Flint podcast, Shelby and Paige. Just set that up. I know. They're that's just in. So anyway, yep, I know. Let's see what's going on. They're talking amongst themselves now. People as soon as I quit answering comments, they have Chris and Marcus are talking. Michelle, ready for Vegas in the finals. I want to talk a little bit more of that in a second. Kayla, there's Kayla. Oh, by the way, as long as I have time, Kayla reminded me. Kayla, I've been using my Lingle Fort Laramie Doggers coffee mug with my name on it. You guys haven't seen it. So tonight, the T-shirt of the night. That's right. What's Kurt call it? The gem of the prairies, or something. Laramie, Wyoming, known to some of us as Laradice. The Laramie High School Plainsman. How about that? Is that not a cool? That's solid as a rock. That's right. Well, let's see. Oh, Marcus, that's what happens when you start having conversations. You were asking Chris if he was going to Cheyenne, and now I'm confused. My high school kids have put together a maskless protest at the school. All right. Chris going to Cheyenne, Nashville, Vegas, all of those looking really. Remember a few months ago, 2-3 months ago, we were like, I don't think summer's going to happen even. And now it's amazing when here's my analogy. Nobody's going to get this. And I'm going to sound like a girl. Anybody watch Bridgerton on Netflix? No. You know why you don't? Because you're males. I watched it on the airplane, and it's like, it was supposed to be kind of raunchy, and it wasn't until all of a sudden one episode they went, psst, and it was just sex flying all over. And that's how the country is right now, getting rid of masks and stuff. Maybe bad analogy. Bridgerton. I watched the entire first season. I'm such a girl. It's like medieval things, but a real takeoff about it. Yeah, let me see if I'm seeing if I have my man card. Let me see if I have my man card. I don't, but I am wearing shorts today. There you go. I cheated. I wore short. 80, what was it today? 86 degrees in Billings, Montana. 86 degrees, mid-80s up on the Rocky Mountain front by Choteau, Montana. 6 inches of snow predicted in the next 2 days up there. We're supposed to get some rain here. Oh, a lady named Brenda says yes to Bridgerton. What the heck is Bridgerton? Well, I know, guys, especially if you ever wear a cowboy hat, you've never seen Bridgerton. Casey, hooked, aren't you? Yeah. I know, nice legs. I appreciate that. That's good. Did nobody see my stripper moves in the video Logan did? Man, what's it take around here? You know, a couple things. A couple people are talking about Vegas, Nashville. They're talking about LA. So I had some happen today. So, I mean, the only way I can describe what I'm going to talk about is I'll say this. I feel like we're really getting it down. I really feel we're starting to get the segues down pretty good. If we were like official on a network, I'd just play it off. But like, you know, the Daily Show used to be really good with Jon Stewart. No matter which side of the aisle you were from, no matter what you were politically, Jon Stewart had a way of, he was funny. That guy, Trevor Noah, like, he has not set foot in a studio since. He's locked up in his apartment still doing shows from there. Not us. We're right here in front of a live studio audience with Flint and the Stones. I thought I'd try it. The Stones stoned. I know, that's funny. All right, I'll say this. Nashville, this past weekend in Nashville. First weekend where Nashville was wide open. Look it up on social media. You just think Miles City was a party with the guys on stoplights. Let me tell you, Nashville, congratulations. Possibly the party of the century. The pictures of it looked like people were in the streets partying as if a meteor was hitting next week. Because have you spent time in Nashville a little bit? Logan, have you ever been to Nashville? It's different than Vegas. They call it Nash Vegas, but it's a small town feel. Vegas, it's different. Bars every 20 feet with the best music you've ever heard. And on a Saturday night on Broadway, right in front of Tootsie's and the stage and all those. It's crazy anyway. They just blocked the streets off this past weekend. Congratulations, Nashville. That was a super spreader of joy. That's right. And alcohol and music. Bam. David asks, I wasn't going to take a question, are you coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma or Little Rock, Arkansas? Not or, both. They're Unleash the Beast tour events. If you look on the PBR schedule and it's the Unleash the Beast, I will be there. Also, this news by the way, Jimmy Hennique tagged me in this post. Thank you, Jimmy from Shelby, Montana, now in Vegas. Tagged me with this picture. Remember when you can hear me? Anyway, Clark County, that's Las Vegas, folks, will return to pre-pandemic guidelines on June 1st. There you go. That's Vegas. Do you know what pre-pandemic guidelines mean? Why do they even have to say that? Why can't they just say, hey, free for all, we're back to normal in Vegas? But that's a very effective way of saying it because it makes you go, well, restrictions? Well, whatever. Flint and the flip-flops. Is that the one you just saw? See, here's the sure sign. Logan doesn't say crap. But if he's giggling, I know there's something down there that I better look at. Pre-pandemic, that's an effective way to put it because then there's no questions. Well, do we have to? No. Well, can we go to? Yeah. Are they going to have fans at the? Mm-hmm. PBR. Yep. So guess who's going to Vegas in 3 weeks? PBR. MGM Grand. Coming up the 11th and 12th. MGM Grand. Get your tickets. Wide open it, baby. Let's go. That's amazing to me. They have, in a sense, Vegas went from completely shut down up until not very long ago to passing up a place like Montana. And do you think Sisolak, right? Sisolak is their governor. You hear that sound? That's Sisolak laying in bed, hearing all the breaths of the casino owners in his ear and the footsteps. It's funny because California is doing the same thing. Like all of a sudden, which again, not to get too much into this, but again, makes really not that much. What does that say about 2 months ago when they were still completely locked down? It makes you wonder where, the reasoning. But let's go. That's what I say. Also, speaking of, as long as we're on the cities subject, look it up. LA is trying to pass a city ordinance. I don't have all of the wording right now, but basically it would completely outlaw anything with animals, including bull riding and rodeo in LA. Is it LA County or is it the city? I can't remember. Regardless, if that happens in one city, then just the way people work, especially that side of things, it'll take off somewhere else. So look that up. If you want, go on Instagram or Facebook and possibly Twitter. I didn't see if he posted on Twitter. Our CEO, Sean Gleason, posted some information that you can share by calling into the city council and keep them from passing that ordinance. As Sean said, a lot of people saying, well, hell, just get out of LA. You don't need to be there anyway. But then you lose, We've never taken the offensive on stuff. We just let people say what they want, do what they want. And I'll say this. They're LA, we got to be careful. We're on the verge of losing this culture. People have no idea how close. Marcus Lee of course, Marcus put up a link where you can go. So actually, that's good, Marcus. Chris, I know, he quit on L.A. His wife, my friend Chris Elise, his wife was born and raised in L.A., just moved to Tennessee, if I saw right. So, yeah, you're right, Chris. I talked to a guy in the Dallas airport one day. He was flying back. He had just driven a U-Haul with all his stuff to Tennessee. Flying back, he was heartbroken. Loves his state, can't live there anymore. So, anyway, losing the culture, not on my watch. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Hey, it's George Strait's birthday today. I called him. No. The game, who's the most famous person in your cell phone contacts? Mine is not George Strait. Who's your most famous person in your? That could be fan of the week. Who's yours? Come on, man. I don't know who mine would be. Will Kane, Larry the Cable Guy, Bill Engvall. Bill Engvall, maybe. Larry the Cable Guy. Yeah, I don't know. Mark Wills, Daryl Worley, maybe. Look at me. I'm just doing it just because I want to name drop to you guys. Let's see. One more thing on Let Me Say This. I'd like to apologize. Well, no, not going to apologize. Just going to draw attention to it. Had a little battle on Instagram this morning. If I see, if I look at the PBR's posts, and when I saw a post on Instagram, it was Silvano Alves riding a bull. And it was a nice ride. And Silvano had a pretty good weekend, actually. And it was early on, there was like 3 comments under it. And I do go down. The reason I read the comments on social media under like PBR's posts is so that when I come here on a Tuesday night, I kind of know what people are thinking and wondering. And so this person, turned out it was a lady, not that that matters, but just, to set the picture, said something about where are all his 90-point rides. I could pull it up, but I'll paraphrase. Where are all his 90-point rides? Lemmy gets all the 90-point rides. It's not even fun to watch anymore, implying Lemmy's favored. So what are we on this week? Which way are we, PBR fans? Is Lemmy getting screwed, or do the judges gift Lemmy? Because I can't keep up with what direction we're going this week. So I commented. Maybe I shouldn't. Well, I stuck to facts. Said Lemmy gets 90-point rides because he gets 90-point rides. Because he is that good that he rides bulls most guys can't ride. Then he gets it. Maybe I shouldn't have ended with, sorry, I'm just sick of stupid comments. But I did. Somebody else chimed in and they said, okay, well, why does he constantly get the good bulls that you can score 90 on and nobody else does? No. What you're missing is other guys get those bulls too. They just buck off of them so we don't remember that. Also, in the championship rounds, he gets him because he's always in a good situation to draft. They pick their bulls in the short rounds, so he's always in a situation to pick the bulls that he wants, and he knows he can be 90 points on. So, and I also said to that person this. I said, plus, and this is fact, Jose Vitor Leme is the kind of guy that falls into a category with guys like Chris Shivers, J.B. Mooney, now Jess Lockwood, now Jose Vitor Leme, where they get the most out of bulls. If you listen to my podcast with Casey Field from a few weeks back, he talks about that because he's a guy in the bareback riding in the rodeo world that does the same thing with horses. He can get more points out of a horse than most people can, and it's the way that you ride. It's the way you flash them up. Jose Vitor Leme is that way, and I put fact. So the last comment was, well, you know what, Flint? We're tired of the same show you do every week and drooling all over the girls in the crowd. So what it came down to is I floated some facts at this person, Cheryl, and the facts were not up to your liking, so you insulted the show that I put on. Oh, yeah, you're doing the same show. You're doing a very similar show week after week. Guess what? George Strait's 69th birthday today. Call him up and ask him if he sings a different playlist of songs every damn night at his concerts. No. My show is not the same every night. I'm going to defend myself. There are things that come up that are the same because we do this week after week, and you have to have some sort of pattern and direction you're going, and my style of humor is always the same no matter what. And as far as drooling over females in the crowd, I challenge you, pick out the Sunday video of Billings, Montana, and point out where I might be doing that. There you go. So you know what? If it goes back to the old thing. If you can't win with facts, you cling on to emotion and insults. And that's what was done. So basically what I'm saying is, I won. What I can't understand if PBR sucks and if I suck, but you're still watching. That's like, we might have broke up, but you really care about what I do. Why is that? Oh, this just in. Looking at the clock. We're perfect tonight. That could be, this just in, that could be a segment too. This just in, reported by Justin Felisko on Twitter today. We actually tried to get Justin Felisko. We can have guests now. I know. Well, we think. The Stones, or the Hooligans, or whatever, they have informed me. The Pips. There you go. They have informed me that we can have guests via the internet. Tried to get Felisko. According to Justin Felisko, Austin Meyer, unretiring. There it is. And Austin Meyer announces he is coming out of retirement. I have no details. He said, there it is. Bo, look at you. I've still got it, he said. He rode a practice bull in Oklahoma. He does, and I did read part of this. He has a lot of rust to knock off. Austin Meyer. What's the, how old is he? Tough task. But apparently Austin Meyer called Tim Tebow and said, how do I go about this? Oh, now everybody's telling me what was missing. So Austin Meyer, 34 years old. Listen, I like Austin Meyer. There was a time, Dave just said this before we went on the air, there was a time that Austin Meyer was a beast. And he got beat to crap. There was some injuries. He just couldn't do it anymore. Hey, if he's healthy again, remember Dennis Quaid in The Rookie? Through 90 after shoulder surgery, threw at 98. Dennis and I, We've had a catch. Not with a baseball, but we've sat and visited. Anyway, but Austin Meyer, and you know what? This is commendable. He has goals to help Western athletes who struggle with addiction. So good for Austin Meyer. If he can take what he has learned and teach it to someone else and help them along the way, perfect. Good job, Austin. Wish him well. Who knows when he'll be at the level of getting on a PBR tour or whatever, but Austin, nice guy. It'll be good to see him regardless. So, hey, no new podcast this week. Yeah. Oh, where's Shelby? Your daughters are watching. Paige just said, wow, Dad's kind of funny. You've made it. Paige is a tough crowd. It doesn't matter what aspect of my life. Paige is a tough crowd. Whether it's hey, Paige, Shelby, come on. Tell the people, how great of a loop did I throw from the Can-Am cage center stage? Wham! Nodded him in the back of the head. I'm telling you. That's right. Paige was amazed. So there's my girls. They're watching. That's how. They just got done practicing breakaway roping and goat tying at their own arena at their house. So there you go. No new podcast this week, but still available. One that is getting a lot of airplay. Check it out on YouTube, because if you want, Justin Rumford is my current podcast. I think he's funnier if you watch him. Like, our audio is doing really well. Go to YouTube and watch it, because he does things like this. So Justin Rumford, a very good friend of mine, nine-time PRCA Rodeo Clown of the Year. I believe he talked. Let's go to the clip. But Justin talks about this right here. When you did win your ninth, I should have known that, in Arlington in Texas this year, you called me like at 1 a.m.
No, I tried to call you at 1 a.m. and my wife told me I can't. So we waited.
So we talked the next morning. You were in bed. 7:30. You were in bed.
Because you at Pendleton, like when I first went to Pendleton, like, which I was scared to death. You remember I called you before? I'm like, I just booked Pendleton. What did I do? You know. So I think I went to Pendleton like my second year ever of clowning, and you were there for the PBR, and I had my Clown of the Year buckle on, and you lifted up my belly at the production meeting and pointed to the buckle and said, "Call me when you got 9." You
and you did, yes, and you did call me.
I won. I'm like, so I was kind of drunk after the dinner that night. I was like, telling Ashley, let's call Flint. He told me to call him after one buckle. And she's like, you are not calling Flint at 2:00 in the morning. Sorry.
I love that guy. He's such a great guy. And anyway, by the way, somebody said about my roping, man, Derek threw a great rope. That was not Derek Begay. That was Dustin Bird. They don't all look alike. Come on. That Dustin Bird is unreal. Him and Derek Begay are fun. We have great bull ropers, but Dustin Bird threw a loop on a bull. That one Saturday night, unbelievable. Hey, check out my podcast with Justin Rumford. It is. Can I give a sneak peek to next week? 10 days from now, 9 days, whatever. The next podcast this week, it's still Justin Rumford. Keep in mind, we always do it every other week. Next week, already in the bag. Great one, possibly the best one. Could be Aaron Watson, country music superstar, Aaron Watson. Then it'll be the girls, if they're still up for it after they've seen this. Anyway, keep in mind, as always, and that side. See, my directions are screwed up. There. As always, Tuesday night, according to Flint Live, and according to Flint, the podcast brought to you by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. They are proud to bring the Western lifestyle and outdoor enthusiasts together for conservation projects, enhancing elk habitat, and ensuring the future of Montana's hunting heritage. Check this out from our friends at the RMEF.
It's a time-honored tradition, passed down from generations. And even though we don't know what tomorrow holds, we can do our part today to ensure the future of elk other wildlife, their habitat, and our hunting heritage. Join today and help us ensure the future.
Check them out, our friends, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, rmef.org. A lot of local banquets that have silent auction, live auctions, some great auction items, hunts, different outdoor products, whatever you can think of at a lot of those banquets. Fundraisers across the country, there are tons of them. Get involved. rmef.org for more information. Well, let's see. What did I miss before I keep going? Nothing. It's time. I think it's time. It's time to take a look at all our nominees and the winner of our Cooper Tires Fan of the Week. All right, this week's question. Hopefully I word it right. What is something you did as a young person years ago that if you did it now, people would laugh at you, that it would seem ridiculous, that it would seem, maybe put it this way, it seemed cool at the time because it probably was cool at the time, but what's something you did back then that people would laugh at now? Logan, you don't count. You're still in the now. Dave, what's something you did as a kid when you were young that people would laugh at you now? Dave. What's something you did when you were young that people would laugh at you now if you did it? Go on Willie Nelson's bus, maybe?
That was fun. I had to, a job I had in Chicago, I had to go on tour with New Kids on the Block.
Oh, so he said, if you can't hear. Oh my God. So if you can't hear, David, who has done everything in the world, had a job that he went on tour representing McDonald's with New Kids on the Block. Oh, oh, oh. You know why David went on tour with New Kids on the Block? Because he had the right stuff. That's a song. That's a New Kids song. Yeah.
He never stayed for one show.
You never watched a show.
We did the setup.
Oh.
I
would have.
Got on the bus and went to the next.
I would have.
So the parking lot was full of 14,000 mothers and dads waiting.
Oh, the mothers and dads were in the parking lot while all the kids. I would have watched New Kids and KOTB, man. Let's look at what people are saying. Dirty Dance with a Stranger. Wear a red Michael Jackson Thriller outfit. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Enroll in the Special Forces as a 19-year-old kid. But you did it, Chris. So that's good. Grow up to be a fireman. There was some good ones. My man Eric Knutson, Coulter Heckman from Shoto. I used to brand a lot of gophers. Who didn't brand gophers? Okay, for all the folks out there that grew up in the city, you snag them with fishing line, then you heat up a little wire thing and you brand the gophers, and you turn the gophers loose in the wild. Oh my God, Mike, my man Hambone rode a unicycle. Let's see, dressed like a clown for the wolf. No, but that's not. Anyway, let's look. Eric Knutson, my man who I taught in school at Havre, he's won before. He just says running. I could run when I was young. Feel like I can still run a bit, but all my students laugh when I run now. But this is the great line. They don't laugh later when I've blocked all their shots on the court, rifled a dodgeball off their dome, or kicked the ball over the fence during kickball. Silly fifth graders. Good job, E.K. Knutson. Jimmy Henneke says Mad Dog 2020. By Bucket Calves. There's so many good ones. I can't skip that one. That's the winner. Papered the dorm rooms. No, you know what? There's one. Here, I like this guy. He didn't win, but I like it. Timothy Hutchings. I drank from the hose by choice. Summertime, and it was hot, and we were always outside. We all knew We always had water available, and it didn't come in a disposable plastic bottle. We never worried about water. For one, kids now can't do anything because they always have a water bottle because you got to stay hydrated. You know what I do? You know when I have water? When I'm freaking thirsty. That's when I have water. I'm thirsty. Now at my age, I stay dehydrated all the time. That way I don't pee all the time. That's a fact. My man Shane Joseph, you know Shane, don't you? Skips kid. And I find it hard to believe he did this. He has won before, so he didn't win. But this was a good one. Breakdancing at recess on our portable cardboard floor that you laid out on the deal. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. My friend Paul from Butte, go to Sam Goody's in the Butte Mall to buy CDs. True. Hastings. That's where we went. Let's see. Those are great ones. You know what? Here's one. I wrote one down. A couple. Here's something we did when we were young that people kind of laugh at now. We actually called people on the phone. Like with a cord. And guess what? You calling your girlfriend on the phone to visit. From college, maybe even when I was there in high school, her dad answered the phone to her mom. Yeah. And you just asked if they were there. My girlfriend in high school was Carrie. Is Carrie there? Yep. Her dad. Uh-huh. Yep. Her mom. It was fine. We were fine. But that was it. And I believe when you actually had to call people on the phone, that was your only way to communicate. You wrote letters. If someone was a long-distance relationship and you talked on the phone, like once a day, bonds were better. Bonds were stronger now than the fly-by-night Snapchats, text messages all the time. There's too much access. Opinion. I also rode my bike with no helmet. I still ride. I biked about 13 miles today. I know that's not that much, but it is for me. Hey, if I die on a bike, it's my time. I rode my bike with no helmet from my house to like baseball practice, unchaperoned by an adult, and just went to practice. My parents didn't need to come. Nobody brought freaking granola bars. We not only drank out of the hose, we drank out of Spring Creek in the park in Shoto. And none of us got the runs because we all had good immune system. But also, we would gather and play baseball just at the baseball field with no adults. We had to learn the rules. We had to, I don't know. I think we were stronger back then. No adults to guide us through okay, go here. We just went and played some ball. So those are mine. But our winner tonight, flash it up there. Let's look. This is awful. This is so bad. My friend Danny Hutchings, trying to get away and have multiple girlfriends in different towns. It worked fine until you went to an event in the neighboring town. Girls decides to go on a little bit of a trip and goes to that event and sees you with your arms wrapped around another girl. I don't know. I'm laughing now. So I looked at Danny's profile. I think he's married. You're talking about that, Danny. And you have like a white, kind of creepy, but creative, something you did when you were young. Danny Hutchings, you are my Cooper Tire fan of the week. My man Casey Ackerman will be in touch with you, get you some Cooper Tire swag. And hopefully you young kids learn a little something from Danny that you just can't win in that scenario. That's just the way it goes. What else? Am I missing anything? Anybody from the studio audience? Again, check out my podcast that is available now. Check out all of the podcasts that are still available. Go back a ways. Go watch Casey Field. Go watch Will Kane. Go way back and watch Ned Ledoux, a great one. And then coming up next week, we'll throw Aaron Watson out there. Great one. So this weekend, have not mentioned this, coming up this week, catch us, the PBR Unleash the Beast Tour, as ticket sales start to do this in this city as well. Jacksonville, Florida. And good luck all, if anybody's watching, to our crew out there. Our crew with our 6 or 7 semi-trucks took off from Billings, and they're driving our arena, all our stuff to Jacksonville, Florida. So thanks to all of them. I will hop on a plane Friday morning, perform Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, then back to Montana, and Memorial Day weekend. So thanks for joining me, everybody. Thanks, Shelby and Paige. Thanks, Paige. Glad you think I'm kind of funny. Thanks to everybody once again for tuning in. This has been According to Flint Live on a Tuesday. Have a great week, everybody.